Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Star Wars Visions The Twins review. It is episode 3, The Twins. It is created by Trigger Studio from Japan. But yeah, it's Trigger. They're a very popular studio over in Japan, and they make some really popular anime. And this one is crazy. This episode is very bombastic, really unlike anything you'll see from American animation, at least. And it looks more in line with the film they did more recently called Promare. I never saw it, but I heard really good things, so I was excited about this. And yeah, I would say with the twins, I enjoyed this one again. Like Tatooine Rhapsody, it's not one of my favorites. It does know what it is. It centers on its action. It hinges on a story that we've seen a million times in Star Wars of familial connection between two people, one being pulled towards the light a bit more, the other being pulled towards the dark. They are twins. It's supposed to be an alternate version of Luke and Leia. It is not really subtle about any of that. And there's a lot of like dual imagery here. There's two star destroyers with a gigantic cannon in between. There's like two hallways right at the beginning when they're walking down. It's like if, even though these people are twins, they couldn't be more like they like have their own hallway that they get to walk down. It's odd how much they go with the double imagery. But yeah, if you're looking for a real like heightened anime action style Star Wars themed episode, this is it. There's lightsabers that are being plugged into hyperdrives that are used to destroy star destroyers. It's insane. And it won't be like anything you've seen. If you're somebody who's more into this for story and more into this show for I guess more realistic but yet Japanese inspired Star Wars, this is absolutely not it. This is completely an alternate take on Star Wars. There's no way this can fit into universe. One of the things I thought was absolutely hilarious about this episode was so they have that whole gigantic duel the entire time, and they're not wearing oxygen masks or anything. They're just fighting on a star destroyer, and then at the very end, a protocol droid that doesn't even need to breathe comes in and picks up the girl with an oxygen helmet on. I thought that was hilarious. It was a really it is kind of self-aware in that aspect. It knows it's crazy and it doesn't even try to hold back. It goes for it. So if that's your type of thing, if you really just want to see insane Star Wars action, the twins is for you. If Like I said, if you're more into the story aspect, I think this one let me down maybe the most out of all of them in terms of story. It's very exposition heavy. The narrative doesn't flow super well. It all takes place in one location basically, and it just kind of is. It's something we've seen before. So in terms of themes, but not in terms of imagery. So overall, yeah, one of my least favorite episodes of the show. But again, if you like action, you'll like this one.
Right. It's visually stunning of an episode, and I think the biggest thing I can say as a positive for it is that it understands how to do all three trilogies of Star Wars together. Like it has the bombastic action of the prequels and the lightsaber duels unit, and then it has the what is it, like the original trilogy premise, right? Where Luke and Leia are basically the characters here, but evil. And obviously, we didn't know Luke and Leia were twins until Episode 6, but it's building off of the idea that was grown throughout that trilogy, and it's nice to just see what they would have been like. I agree. I think the Leia stand-in makes sense. If these two kids, Luke and Leia, were trained under Vader, were born to the dark side, I would say Leia is probably the one who goes evil first, which is ironic because she's the one who's probably the one who fights for the Republic, the New Republic, the Resistance, and the Rebellion the most. But personality-wise, I think she's always been more snippier, more biting, more caustic than Luke ever is in any of the movies. Um, but it's interesting how it's like a double-edged sword. Like you can completely go in one direction with her and all that, but that one thin line is that her personality is very similar across. It's just to which extreme does it lean towards. Obviously, we see this Leia stand-in has the connection to the C-3PO villain, and the Luke stand-in has a connection to the R2 stand-in, which is our duo. I was like, okay, that's very close. Um, but I guess like when we come to the sequel thing, I mean, it really comes down to the one visual ending of like Star Destroyer ripped up. It looks like how it does in Episode 8, with the supremacy and how it's just blown up by hyperspace ramming. And I mean, it that still is one of the most iconic images of all time in Star Wars. I do wish they kind of did something similar sound wise with this, but they didn't. But visually, they did. So I think that's what I really enjoyed it. Like there was things about this episode that were, you know, pulled from every different era of movie making in Star Wars. And then on top of that, you have the reputation of this Studio Trigger, which came from Gynax, which came from a Mecco background, which came from explosive action like Gurren Lagann and stuff, right? And uh, yeah, it was crazy. But then if you take a minute to like slow down and consider it, there's no story. There really isn't any story. It's just all about how does these like landmark images in Star Wars, how do they can you piece something together and add the anime coding of craziness on top of it? And it works for that. And there is a cool, interesting force vision moment, but besides that, there really isn't anything story wise. You don't know, like, is this like, even if you're trying to put it in the head canon, like, is this like a New Republic era or is this the Empire? You don't really know how to do this. It's hard to even try doing that. So, like you said, it's not one of my favorites. But if you're looking for just something that you need like a sugar rush for, this really would be it, because that lightsaber fighting had like whips and General Grievous arms and red and blue lightning. They both could apparently breathe in space until they couldn't. It was just, and then the Luke standing literally chopping off a lightsaber, a kyber crystal off of the armor, and then splitting the ship. No, that's not Star Wars, but it is ridiculously fun to see Star Wars images with that. So yeah, that definitely worth just the viewing alone.
Yeah, completely agree with all those points. It's just crazy. That's like the that's the only thing I could say about it. As somebody who doesn't have as much of an anime background as a lot of other people who are going to be watching this, I've never seen anything like this. So it was bombastic, and that's the fun of it. If you're somebody who can't handle that side of taking all these liberties with Star Wars, then this might not be for you. But it's going to be it for a lot of people. A lot of people are going to really enjoy this. So thank you guys so much for watching this review of the twins. Stay tuned for episode 4. We'll be reviewing episode 4 and all of the other Star Wars Visions episodes in individual segments like this. We already posted our reviews for episodes 1 and 2, so check those out, as well as Wednesday's comic reviews and our main episode or general review of Star Wars Visions. You also have Star Wars Labs 46 coming out, and we release videos 3 days a week, so check them out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll be releasing more videos this week, obviously, because of Visions, but those are the main videos that we release. Follow us on social media at Star Wars Lads on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. You can also like the video down below and comment below. Let us know what you thought of the twins. So thanks, guys, so much for watching, and we'll see you for episode 4's review, The Village Bride.